Hello, brilliant people. It is Cynthia Painter here from Create Action Now. And today we're going to talk about how to convert your audience to paying clients. So won't it be great if you actually run an event, such as a workshop or networking event, speaking on stage, and then have people wanting to give you their money so that they can work with you? A good thing, right? Well, funny because this is our stumbling block that a lot of people come up to when it comes to actually presenting and then converting. We're hoping that they'll all just come running up to us and want to hand over that cash, but if we don't actually help them in that process, then it's not as likely to happen. I also know that you're out there with this message that you want to be able to share. And really, you just want to go and change the world and create shifts. And, the money is a nice thing, but you really want to get that message out there. If you're not converting, then you're not going to be able to help as many people. So let's look at how we can actually do that. So when I'm talking about converting, I am talking about an upsell into working with you either one-on-one or in a group context. So actually paying you to do that. Now, whether you're able to do that in this event is dependent on the event you're actually doing. And there are a few ways to get there. So just as part of the context, you do need to consider whether you're able to do an upsell at the event that you're running. So if it's your own event, well, you can basically do what you like. So that's easy enough. But if it's somebody else's event, if you've been asked to speak at a networking event, a conference, or part of an expo, then you need to check in with the organizer. What is the upsell or pitching opportunity within that event? Now, some of them will say that there is no sales. There's no upsell, that they've promoted you, therefore there's exposure. People have your contact details maybe in all the promotions or workbooks that they get given, and that's fine. If then, some of them may say, yes, you can collect email addresses, or we will give people a feedback form and they can click that they can go and start following you and we'll give you the email addresses. And others will say you can have, say, 5 minutes at the end. So just have a look at the context of what you're actually delivering and whether you've got that ability to upsell, because no one wants to go to an event where you're upsold to where that's not really appropriate for what you're doing. Okay, so given that an upsell is appropriate, let's look at how we can do it. The first thing that we want to have a look at is we need to make sure we deliver on our promise. So whatever it is you're there to speak about, make sure you deliver on that promise. If you've got some outcomes for them to achieve, make sure they've done that. And the reason being is because that speaks volumes around credibility. If I've come to see you and I'm expecting A, B, and C, and yet you don't deliver that, then I'm not going to work with you anyway. So first thing is make sure that you actually do deliver on your promise. Okay. The second thing is, how does the workshop fit into your sales funnel? So what's those next steps for working with you? So I've had a few people who have come to me and said, yes, I want to run a workshop or I want to speak. And I'm like, great, how does that fit into your sales funnel and how people can work with you? And they're like, oh, well, it's got nothing to do with my business. It's all about paper mache and paper folding. And I run a beauty parlor. And it's like, you're putting a lot of effort in and that's nice, but it's not aligned to at least your brand. If it's not at least aligned to what you do in your business, then I would question running it, and we're not talking about an upsell then anyway, right? Because you can't go from paper folding into a facial. It doesn't really work. So do have a think about what's your sales funnel, what is the next logical step of working with you, okay? And that's my third point, next steps. So really the sales comes across, or that upsell and conversion comes across really easily when you think, I've delivered this, okay? And then to be able to make that happen, the next thing you need is this. And this is where we can work together. So for example, I might run, here's how to run a workshop. Okay, here's all the steps on how to do that. And now here, to be able to put that in place, we know that you need to know the logistics or deal with mindset wobbles or have accountability, so forth. So then we go, okay, so now you've got this, you can take away. Now here is the next steps. So for me, sales is really an extension of customer service. It's about going, we're here now to make that happen, or we're here and the next steps are, and it's an extension of customer service. Okay, the last thing to have a look at is the actual upselling, the actual conversion. We want to make this pretty easy for people, but also the mistake that people make here is they get very transactional. And they'll sit there and go, right, for this amount of money, you get 3 sessions, you get this, and you get that, right? But people don't buy information. They buy transformation. They want to feel good about it. So when you are talking about the features and the benefits of what it is that they get from working with you, whether that's one-on-one or group work as the next step, think about feelings. So think feelings, features, benefits, feelings. What is it going to help them feel? Is it more confidence? Is it more energy and get up and go? But what is it that they get the feeling out of that? Because that's what people want. Okay? All right. So there's some tips on being able to convert from the stage and convert into paying clients without being salesman sleazy, because none of us want that. So I'd really love to know any questions that you have on being able to do this. And if you want some help with that, feel free to comment below and we can make a time to have a chat. But between now and then, I'd look forward to hearing how you share your message. And if you haven't already, subscribe to our newsletter, the YouTube channel, and our Facebook page for Create Action Now. And let me know how you're going. Talk to you later. It's Cynthia, Create Action Now. Bye.